Hello, good morning. I'm actually working from a photograph now that I took of the cyclamen from the first day because they've changed quite a bit, and I want to capture the light where the light was and the shape of the petals where they were. Let's see. I mean, this still looks quite similar, this one standing out to the right, which appealed to me as a compositional thing the very first time I set it up, you know. I wanted to get that bright petal in. Now what I'm using here is fluorescent ink. Excuse me. And just kind of testing the water with it, really. There are some flashes that I feel can only be really fully described by something like this. And I haven't got my fluorescent oil paint yet. And anyway, I'm still working in acrylic, and I think I maybe just let this be an acrylic painting. So I'm just using a piece of it's like one of the rushes, I think, that I was making the Bridget's crosses with. And I see some parts that I want to use, I want to make the colour by mixing white with, you know, because it's almost white in places, you know. And so I'm avoiding putting this bright ink everywhere that I see light, because I feel like some of the light is going to need to be explained by a light shade of pink. Very, very white almost shade. I'm just picking up the drops there. And really this ink is best painted on flat, you know, because I think it really is vibrant as a colour when it's left to dry in relief almost. But that's satisfying enough to me anyway. I might just do another couple of bits of that before making using the white paint. I'm going to take Maisie out for a walk then, and I've got some work I want to do on the computer, so I'm going to go to the coffee shop for that. And I did actually have, for the first time, a caffeinated coffee yesterday, and you know, I was fine. I did want the decaf to have the same effect, but maybe if I didn't know it was decaf, I'd be okay. Right, so I've also got some kind of neon paint here that I want to try too. It's that bit thicker, but it's not got the same, you know, I need to put it on thickly if it's to have an impact. And the brush is important as well, because I want the shape I'm laying down to be clean. So let's see if I can find a better implement. This one might do. This is the shape of the petal itself, this brush. You can't really see the impact of it, but it's quite garish, to be honest. Let's see if I can adjust the shape of that petal to be more true to the form that I'm seeing. Yeah, and it's not that colour. That's not the colour that it is, so I'm going to wipe that off. And again, just the droplets that are coming down. I kind of like the fluorescent ink. It's not got too much of a, you know, because of it being drawn on, it's not that dramatic, or, yeah, I think it's okay once I catch the drips from it. Okay, now I'm going to explore that idea of using the white in these brushes. I actually got a new set. I could have bought them out for myself, but I'm not going to go and footer around finding a brush now. I'm just going to use the ones that I think will best explain it here. Sorry if I'm mumbling. Okay. I'm just looking, to explain the bits that are really bright. And there's one here. That's it. And then there's also a petal that's turning back on itself. That to me looks almost white too. And then this edge has got a white turn to it. These two flowers seem to have stayed very similar to what I'm looking at in the still life itself, so I'm sticking with looking at them for that. But for this one here, it's oh, that's the same too. It's this one in front that has changed significantly, so this is the one that I'm going to be looking at the photo for. There's a little bit of white here. And then top of that, I decided to not do the black background. So what's happening here now? Yeah, there's a light down this side of that dark shape. And it goes up there. And of course the stem really is very bright. There. And then this one's got some white on it too. So again at the top of the bit where the pink was outlined, there's a flash of white at the top of that petal that's been outlined by the fluorescent pink. And then as I come down here, there's a little bit of white here too that kind of widens the petal at this area. And then there's a very bright flash, completely white here. It's extending out into the dark, but of course the dark isn't there, so I just have to put a big lump of white on in order for it to read as light. That's my method anyway. And then down here. But this is the one, I think that's lower. Okay, there's some lovely light on the leaves, but again, I think if I was to do it again, I might introduce the black, but there's something I love about the simplicity of the flowers and how they're meeting, and how the edge of them is meeting the white. These are boards from Jackson's. They're called ampersand boards, and I kind of like the edge of the petal where it's kind of a bit lost and found in places. Try a bit of that fluorescent again and just see how it would be here and there. This is fluorescent paint now, so it's staying put more than the ink is. Let's catch that drop again. Maybe a little flash of it down here. I think I overdid it there. Okay. I could just do a little bit more drama in the leaves. Just enhance the contrast to them a little bit more. So I'm mixing Payne's grey with Viridian green. And I'll find something at the dark that's here underneath this leaf. So the light is coming from the left side, natural light. And so it means that there's a shadow on the right hand side of the leaves then mostly. I mean, I'm working from the photo now, it's not really that dramatic in person. At least that one isn't. But I can't really see it, you see, in setup because this flower has fallen in front of it. It's got a kind of a curve away from the light there. And then there's a little bit at the centre that drops in as well into that little valley of darker green just there. Okay. And then this one could be a different shape. A little bit more like thinner and longer. And down here too. And there's room, I think, for a touch of Payne's grey here and there in the darks on the flowers. This is quite dark in here. If you see little puffs of clouds going by, that's my breath. It's freezing in here. Okay, and then just going to get some of that magenta Liquitex. Well, it's quinacridine magenta from Liquitex that I feel is a good colour for the flowers themselves. A good base colour kind of for the dark in them anyway. And I'm just going to put a bit of that there so that the Payne's grey doesn't overwhelm too much. Yeah, you know, it's a tricky thing knowing when to stop. I feel it's sometimes in the first few moves you feel like you've got something, and then as you go on, it also feels satisfying still, but it's kind of like a thin line between you know, putting in a few final moves and painting the life out of it. So I'm conscious of that here. And I also feel like I need to get Maisie out into the field to give her a walk. So I'll see you tomorrow. You might have a different setup tomorrow. And I'll just pull the picture over for you to see. Don't know if it's too bright. That's what happened today. Did a little bit more shading and brightness, best I could. So I'll have a look at it tomorrow and see if I want to do any more. But thanks for joining me. And have a good Wednesday. Bye.